summer's evening, standing on the mound.
Welcome to another edition of the Painting Corners Baseball Podcast. I'm your co-host, Johnny C. with Aidan Smith. We are talking about offseason, hot stove, trade rumors, Nimmo Semien, Yankees losing their bullpen, Sung Mun Song, and potentially the swan song of the Houston Astros, at least their time with Mauricio Dubon. How you doing tonight, Aidan?
Not too bad. The hot stove's been more lukewarm than any of our mama's cooking, but I'll take any moves we can get right now. I saw Jeff Passons tweeting about Jonah Bride signing minor league deals, so you know things are bad when Jeff's got to drop a tweet like that. So let's start on the Nimmo Marcus Semien trade. Ostensibly to me, it's, getting defense in that New York infield. And for Texas, it's on base ability. And yeah, they are taking money off the books in the short term, but it's also a longer contract than Marcus had. So what are your thoughts on this? Did anyone win this deal?
Yeah, Stearns' main comment was running it back is not sufficient. And I think that's true for the Mets fans. When I'm watching the Mets, this Cohen era payroll of a mediocre 5-year run, like you said in your article with the mock trades, no division clinch in this mediocre 5-year run of Cohen's big spender moves. And Stearns comes out saying what everyone's thinking, like, okay, if you run it back, you're still not going to be better than you were last year. So what's going to be different? It feels a little bit like they're just switching something up in order to switch something up. The winner for me is pretty clear. It's the Rangers. You get more control. Nimmo's coming off a career high, 25 bombs, 92 RBI season. Nimmo's got 5 years. Semien's got 3. Semien's older by 3 years. And he's coming off this broken foot, career low OPS 669, 230 average, 15 bomb season. So it's just I get that something's got to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes that Stearns is talking about, but this feels like grasping at expensive straws.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think they like taking off the back end of Nimmo's contract because he's under contract through 2030, and he'll be 37 for that final season. That's a long deal for a guy like that, especially when you consider that he's not a great outfielder. He doesn't have a ton of power. He does have a really nice overall approach offensively, which can age pretty well. But, when you think about it, he hit 224 last season, hit 262 this season. I don't know. When you look at the OPS numbers, they're there. He's an 802 career OPS hitter, but when I watch him, he doesn't feel like a middle of the order hitter to me or top of the. I don't know how to explain it. He does walk a lot. I'll give him that.
I know what you mean. I had in my notes. I think it's funny, worth mentioning. David Stearns, GM of the Mets, in the most professional possible way to say, "I'm rich," goes, "Payroll space is not unending, but I'm also very confident we're going to have the support we need and the resources we need to put a very good team on the field." It's bruh, that's the most LinkedIn way to say, I'm a GM for the richest team ever. With the exception of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me a little bit of when that person that you knew at your last job, gets a promotion or something like that, and they say, "I'm humbled to announce." I love those. They're one of my favorites. Man, I can't go on LinkedIn too long. I get nauseous. The statement that Stearns is making, it's not even that he's rich, right? It's that Cohen's rich and he's got access to that purse, right? But vis-a-vis, Stearns is the big baller on the block when he's negotiating with people. So, but yeah, the Mets have put forth, a season in which they paid $97 million in taxes last season in 2024. They paid $86 million in taxes in 2025. So, and that's just luxury taxes. That's not even considering the bloated payroll that they've had in this 5-year window that Cohen's owned the team. I understand that he has a lot of resources, but even if I were in his position and I was paying, close to $100 million a year in CBT taxes, and I'm not winning the NL East, and frankly, I wasn't even close to winning the NL East this year, right? Like in the last 3 months of the year, there wasn't really a moment where I thought the Mets are going to win the NL East, especially with the wheels falling off of the starting rotation. And so they do have to get aggressive. Things have to be different. I don't mind the move for Semien, playing second base for the Mets, but I have to see what the rest of the puzzle pieces are, right? Because if they add Semien as an addition to this defense and they don't bring in a middle of the order bat and some starting pitching, to me it's all for naught.
I don't get the Mets thing with we are physically incapable of going to get starting pitching. You know what, Aidan? The most excited I've been for the Mets since that little that beautiful musical number they had going and the Grimace thing, that was the Miracle Mets. That was beautiful.
Jose Iglesias, yeah, that was a nice
shout out.
That was a nice moment for Jose, right? I love
that song is a bop for the Almighty. What the most excited I've been for the Mets since then is that point you made in your most recent article on Painting Corners of Skubal potentially going to New York. That is not a brash, but that is the splash of splashes that sends a signal like, we're going to go for a durable lefty generational ace. We are serious about winning the World Series. However, I think Cohen's style is like, let's go for splashy NPB risks and try to compete with the Dodgers of the Japanese player pipeline. I don't know. What do you see them doing? Do you think the Tarek Skubal trade in his final year in Detroit is a possibility?
I think it's a strong possibility because I don't really think Detroit has the resources to extend him, or at least it's akin to what happens to an NFL team when they have to pay the max on their star quarterback. They just lose all their flexibility in the roster. You're seeing that, like, not to spend too long on this, but you see that like with the Kansas City Chiefs, where they have a hard time adding premium position players because they're already paying a few high salaries, one of which is Patrick Mahomes, obviously. That's kind of how I see Skubal or someone of Skubal's caliber getting extended on a small or mid-market team, is it just tremendously reduces the flexibility that you'll have to improve the rest of your roster. So with the Mets, for example, they have the resources to extend Skubal and still spend more money this offseason. The Dodgers spent $1 billion in one offseason. That's the only team that we've seen do that, right? I mean, I guess the Mets were close to that last year with Soto, but that was really on one guy.
I think you referred to it as a trade-in sign. We should hyphenate that, patent that. I like that. The old trade-in sign for Tarek.
Well, yeah, and the old sign and trade is an NBA thing actually, but that's kind of how I view Skubal to the Mets, is a little bit of a unsaid agreement that both sides will find a way to get this extension done. And you saw that with Garrett Crochet. I think that was a sign and trade. I mean, we don't know, right? We weren't in the room, but that extension got done, relatively quickly.
Tucker couldn't get done. Happened. Poor Cubs. They couldn't do the sign and trade with Tucker, at least not yet. We'll see. Where do you want to go next?
I think Tucker was pretty determined to hit the open market. I don't think that he expected to have a hand problem, that fracture. And then he also did just underperform offensively. In the season, the Cubs also underperformed as a team, I think you could argue. That's not only on Kyle Tucker. I mean, you saw Imanaga was human and got knocked around quite a bit in the second half. There were a few guys who fell off from a performance standpoint. And if you remember, I mean, Justin Steele had hurt his elbow right out of the gate, and he was on my fantasy team in our league, if you remember. I don't even know if he started a game for me. I think that might have been spring training when he was out for the year. But, that was a brutal break for the Cubs to lose one of their frontline starters before they even got out of the gate.
What's his recovery look like? I'm trying to look that up right now.
Are we talking about Steele?
Yeah, Man of Steel.
I would guess All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen anything on it too recently. But now let me ask you something, Johnny. Where do you see Pete going? Do you think Polar Bear comes back to Queens?
Yeah.
Or do you have him jumping to another club?
Yeah, I see Polar Bear going back to Queens because Stearns' comments. He expressed this optimism about how he'd like to sign Pete. And it wasn't that reluctant, obligatory politeness of a GM who's seeing a guy on his way out the door and trying to be respectful for his time served and fan base loyalties and things like that. It sounded like, hey, we're going to go get Pete. we're going to make sure Pete stays a Met. I just feel like look, you already did we're not just going to run it back. Adios, Nimmo. So what? You're going to let Pete go and just blow the whole thing up? No, you're obviously going to get Pete back. He's going to hit you 30 bombs and maybe 29 the next year and maybe 26 the next year after that, but you'll take those.
Yeah, I mean, I keep thinking back to when Cohen called the negotiations with Scott Boras over Pete exhausting.
Yeah.
And I don't really see them going into the weeds like that again with Scott if Pete's looking to max out his full contract on the open market. I personally see someone else paying Alonso more.
Who do you see?
I had the Reds in my top 50, and I do think that's a good possibility. I mean, it's a hitter's park, and Pete would be the star there. I mean, he'd be the biggest brand of anyone there. I mean, arguably even bigger than Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, I know that Ellie's exciting and electric, but he also has some serious flaws in his game at this point.
Yeah.
And Alonso's a brand name power hitter, right? I mean, from his rookie year on. So I think he could be, the guy in Cincinnati. And I don't know that he's going to be that in New York.
Can you imagine Pete rocking the early 2000s Reds sleeveless jersey? That would be
I could definitely see Pete hanging out in the 80s, just being one of those tough mashers like a Greg Wyszynski or something like that. I could definitely see that.
Easily, dude. I don't care. I've got hair loss. I just look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a brawny Coney Island circus guy. Sans mustache. Yeah, that's his vibe.
Well, I was gonna say sans mustache, but I'd like him to actually grow the mustache.
Correct.
I want him to have that Paul Blart mall cop mustache.
Jeez. We are all over the place. I can see it though.
I think that'd be a great look for Pete, especially if he gets to go to Cincinnati, where I feel like you can kind of create your own adventure in a small mid-market team like that, and that's part of the sell. But I do think the Mets have to get a power hitter. I personally see them getting Murakami.
So they're gonna do the NPB dance. That's Cohen's thing.
Well,
get a lick there.
If you're thinking about it from a business standpoint, where is the growth in Major League Baseball? Japan.
What do you mean by growth? You're saying media market or big
media,
pipeline of players? Okay.
Yeah, media, the audience, the merch. The growth is one of the biggest, probably the biggest growth market is Japan. And you're going to be able to get access to that market by having one of their star players.
That would be pretty baller. So you get Murakami. He's your like, let's say he can hit the fastball, right? But let's say he gets a little tripped up and he bats like 240, but he hits you like 29 bombs, just shy under 30.
29, not 30.
So yeah, no. So Murakami, I'm just going off the David Stearns, like we don't want to run it back statement. You're barely getting back to like table stakes here of the 2025 roster. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying like you're probably right. Just because I can't get Pete Alonso in a Reds uniform out of my head now. So you got Murakami. You've got Marcus Semien. Hopefully he just has this like crazy George Springer comeback year at second base in New York. New York can do that to a guy. I've seen crazier things happen. What else are you going to do? I don't want to spend too much time here, but it's just like I'm kind of hung up on that Stearns comment, and I want to think like what 5D chess is he playing? Or is this just like him being very LinkedIn-y and polite about trying to dump some salary and like move some pieces, you know, shed some contract years to get ready for 26?
I personally think it's more of a LinkedIn PR statement than anything else.
Got it. Cool.
I will say Semien is still an elite defender at second base. I mean, he was a shortstop by trade for years, and
Got it.
You know, he's got a couple Gold Gloves to show for his defense. He was still a 3.3 B WAR player this year. He's a good player, and if he hits, 2 years ago he was a 7.7 B WAR player, one of the best players in the league. He finished third in the AL MVP. That was 2 years ago. So he could come back and blow us out of the water here, and you know, even if he doesn't, even if he's, you know, solid, I still think he's a valuable player. But to answer your question, you have to get starting pitching. I mean, their ERA in the second half, I think, was 5.3, somewhere around there. You know, David Peterson fell off. Clay Holmes started out strong, went flat. Kodai Senga has had some injuries, but, you know, he really slipped quite a bit. Griff Canning ended up being out for the year. Sean Manaea had injury problems. It's just, it hasn't been stable, and as good as Nolan McLean was in his 8 starts as a rookie last season, he's not an ace, right? He's 23 years old. So if he shows me that he's an ace over a full season, or 24 now, if he shows me he's an ace over a full season, then I'll take that at face value, but I'm not going to buy into a guy with a nasty slider over 8 starts as a number one guy, like, especially for the Mets, who, honestly, anything less than being in the championship series next year is a failure. You can't bank on Nolan McLean being a stud next year. He might be, but he also might just be, you know, like a 4 ERA guy who throws 140 innings.
I really want to get to the Gray Rod trade that is just like, what is why is this so quiet? Is it the no physical? Is it so shocking that we're just not talking about it? Like, what is Mike Elias doing? What's going on? What's going on? So
to me, there's really 2 possibilities. I guess you could say 3. One, the Orioles medical staff thinks that Grayson is cooked and that the arm is gone bad. And the Angels and Perry Maniason think that he's fine. Relatively fine, right? That there's still the high ceiling that you think of when you think of Grayson Rodriguez, right? And that he'll pitch as early as spring training, you know? So it could be that there's a difference of opinion on the medical staffs. Possibility 2 is there's a personality or some sort of relationship problem between Baltimore, the front office, and Grayson and his agent. Okay. Or just Grayson. Or a teammate in Grayson, right? It could be something like that. And then third possibility is Mike Elias is just totally incompetent. which I don't think is the case. So he's demonstrated an ability to do pretty well in this league from a trade standpoint that I would be surprised if that he thought his arm was fine from a health standpoint and was willing to make that deal. Option 1 seems like the most likely.
Fun fact, Mike Elias, as we know, worked for the Houston Astros from 2012 to 2018. What happened between those years? Did anything interesting happen in Houston between those years? And so that's always the comp, right? Is like,
Sure.
okay, lose now strategy, which I think Jeff Luhnow single-handedly took away the ability for teams to tank because of how well it worked out for the Stros. So Elias goes over to Baltimore, is like, okay, we're going to kind of do the same thing. You got the baby birds, they're doing the bird bath, this gigantically annoying left field that no one can hit a home run out of, but you got Adley Rutschman looking awesome, his dad's chucking home run derby balls to him in 23, you've got, it's awesome, you got all the boys. You ship Kyle Stowers off to the Fish. Stowers has the best year of his life, becomes an all-star in the NL. You get Trevor Rogers, though, and he just pops off in June. And the age-old, the O's never have any pitching. They lost Corbin Burns. They lost this guy. They're going to lose Zach Eflin. All this stuff. It's like, wow, this is kind of cool. They're super young. They have a ton of team control. And now they got this Trevor Rogers thing. But it's like, they haven't done anything in the playoffs. So the comp for Elias being this like Jeff Luhnow acolyte kind of goes out the door for me. Like, prove it. And Grayson for Taylor Ward. I don't know, man. It's really weird to me that the Angels waived the physical. I know that in a trade you don't have to do a physical. I think that's just for free agency. But to me, that actually... To me, that speaks to them, like, knowing something. That they're like, look, Grayson's fine. Let's just go get this guy. We don't really care. Taylor Ward is, like, on the wrong side of 30. I don't know, man. I feel like Elias is getting fleeced. I know Grayson's had some command issues. He's gotten dinged up. I've had him in fantasy for the past couple of years. Or at least 23, 24, but... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just want the Orioles to not squander this opportunity they have, you know, with Gunnar, with Adley, with Cowser, with all the boys, and I just feel like it's kind of fizzling out.
They're definitely running out of time, similar to where the Mariners were entering this season. Yeah. Really no meaningful success before this year for Seattle. I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah.
They were one game away from the World Series this year. I don't think it's unreasonable to think that the Orioles could be in the same situation if they make some of the right moves. Fun fact, Adley was actually a 40th round draft pick out of Sherwood High School in Oregon by the Seattle Mariners prior to going to Oregon State as a Beaver and going 1-1 in the 2019 draft.
That is a fun fact. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So
this is why I come here. I come out here to hang out with you, and it's like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, where am I going to get the coolest takes on baseball? And it's like, am I going to scroll X? No. Am I going to like Google anything cool? No. I'm going to talk to Aidan.
Well, we also got Johnny C for the sauce. You know, that's what you're on here.
Everybody needs a little sauce.
Chef cooking the sauce. Chef Johnny C.
Doobie? Doobie. What is we doobin' doobie?
Adley's coming off a terrible year. And the thing with this group and the thing that you get with competitive windows, Johnny, is Adley is now only 2 years away from free agency.
Yep.
So he's in his second year ARB in 26, right? And these guys are all racking up experience, which means they're racking up their team control years. When everyone starts going through arbitration, we're really starting to feel the clock here in Baltimore. So, and Trevor Rogers, I love seeing the run too, man. But 2021, second in the NL Rookie of the Year, he had a 5.09 ERA and 52 starts from 22 to 24. So that 3-year window, 5.09 ERA, 7-24 record. This past season, 1.81 ERA, finishes ninth in the AL Cy Young despite only throwing 109 innings.
Well, it's obvious he went to King Kai's planet under 10x gravity and trained and got the Dragon Ball. It's obvious.
Yeah, it is actually a pretty easy arc to follow now that you mention it, Johnny. I will say that, I love seeing performances like this. To me, it's kind of like finding the guy who beats the market with his mutual fund, and it's never the same guy, who beats the S&P or something like that. Yeah. You look at when the Wall Street Journal had the monkeys throwing darts, and they did better on the stocks than any of the traders did. That's kind of how it works sometimes with these pitchers. You don't know what you're going to get, and I don't think we're ever going to see that version of Trevor Rogers. I mean, when I'm talking about this version, I mean 1.81 ERA, top 10 Cy Young guy. I don't know that we're going to see that again. I hope so, but I'm skeptical. And Baltimore needs to add pitching if they're serious about doing anything.
Oh my goodness gracious, don't they? It's like, you're probably going to lose Eflin. You think you're going to lose Led Zeppelin? Well,
Eflin's already gone.
I thought he was just a free agent. Where'd he go?
Well, he is a free agent, but I'm saying I don't think they're going to bring him back.
That's what I mean, yeah.
I mean, he also had a 5.93 ERA this year, and his numbers slipped a lot. I mean, 2 years ago when he finished sixth in the AL Cy in Tampa, he had a 9.4 K per 9 rate. This year, 6.3. His whip went from a 1.024 to 1.416. And he was pretty bad this year.
I just don't know what to make of it. I think I need more time to simmer, but the whole Taylor Ward just feels like Angels hit a fat lick. Grayson's great. I'm a Gray Rod stan. I still believe in him.
Well, why are they trading Grayson away if they're starved for pitching? That's the other thing where I'm just like, what? If this was a team that had a lot of starting pitching depth, I could see it more so.
Yeah.
But it's an odd one. He hasn't pitched in like a year and a half, so maybe he is cooked. I don't know.
I'm kind of talking myself into a team like Gray Rod must have a really bad injury. It's starting to actually make sense. Yeah,
it's gotta be. They saw something in the physical. I mean, Baltimore's known to be a little stricter when it comes to the physicals. Let's talk about Mauricio Doobie for Nick Allen.
Doobie. Do you know any Astros fans? They might have something to say about Mauricio.
Any Astro fans at all? I don't know. Let me think.
Let's actually
I think Johnny C is known to have a little bit of Astro fandom.
We should probably do a call-in thing where I don a different accent or something, so people don't get sick of me talking about the Astros. Here's the deal. So, once upon a time, there's this guy, right? He's a closer for the Boston Red Sox. I'm gonna spin you a yarn. Closer for the Boston Red Sox. He joins the Rockies. He joins the Rockies. He's battling some mental stuff. He's wild. He can't control the strike zone. Features in the World Baseball Classic, pitching against Team Venezuela. It is winter of 2023. Okay. And in a meaningless game in the World Baseball Classic, he dings Jose Altuve in the wrist, breaking his finger right before spring training. So Jose Altuve is out for half the year. Mauricio Dubon, a relative no-name from the San Francisco Giants, traded to the Astros in 2022 for, what's his name? I can't even remember it. Nobody can remember.
From the Red Sox you're talking about?
No, Mauricio Dubon comes to the Houston Astros in 2022 for Michael Papierski. And in 2023, after Altuve gets dinged with his surprise broken thumb in the World Baseball Classic of 2023, Mauricio gets his shot. As being a no-name all year long in 2022, every Stros fan is dreading him at the plate. Here he comes in 23, and he becomes best friends with Yordan Alvarez. They start sharing hotel rooms together, playing Cuban dominoes every night. They become the best of friends. Yordan starts letting Mauricio hit with his bat. Tells Mauricio, you need a different bat path. You need to hit line drives. You need to go with the pitch. Stop trying to pull the ball. Be who you are. Be the body God gave you. What does Mauricio do? He has a career-high OPS of 720. Now, not a lot, but better than the 600 and 500.
He won a Gold Glove, too.
Right, getting to that. Yeah. After that, he becomes the starting second baseman with Altuve's absence and starts dominating, slapping the ball. He's batting 300. He moves to the leadoff spot, proceeds to win a utility Gold Glove, and then this year wins a utility Gold Glove again. Fan favorite, replaced the hole left by Michael Brantley in the Astros clubhouse, and the broadcast absolutely adored Mauricio. Even had a very, very big moment on field, just being honored in many situations with his family and his son, and I think he's also the first ever Honduran MLB player. All this is to say, Stros are pretty hurt. You know, you're trading him for Nick Allen. Nick Allen's calling card is definitely not his 550 career high OPS. It's rather his team control. I think you get 2 to 3 more years of arbitration. He was a Gold Glove finalist at shortstop this year. He's a short king at 5'8". However, I think the move here is the Astros simply are cutting salary, trying to get more years of team control. And if you look at this through the shrewd lens of, you know, Game of Thrones, Game of GMs, you got Mauricio for nothing. You helped make him into a very awesome utility Gold Glove defender who's got a little bit of bat when he need it, in 2023 only. And now you're getting a guy with some team control for super cheap that plays some good defense.
So, Mauricio is actually the second Honduran player. Gerald Young finished 5th in the Rookie of the Year for the Houston Astros in 87. He stole 65 bags in 88.
Wow.
But anyway, he's number 1. Doobie's number 2. But, I mean, that was also, 40 years ago. So,
that was a little bit before my time.
As far as this trade, I know that you really have a lot of positive memories and feelings about Doobie. I mean, do you see a way where this trade is a win for Houston? I mean, you had 1 year left on Doobie's contract, and you're getting multiple years of team control for a backup middle infielder with premium defense.
Yeah, when I started doing notes for this, I was like still in the throes of, man, I miss my favorite player from the clubhouse. Well, besides Jose Altuve and Hunter Brown, of course. But then I thought about it, and it's like, okay, you get 3 more years of team control. You're cutting salary by... You've already cut $20 million underneath the first luxury tax bracket when you had started over it. And there's a lot in there. There's like, you're not paying Bregman and Tucker, obviously. You freed up the Presley salary to the Cubs, etc. You finally free of the Jose Abreu contract from hell.
Fromber's gone.
Fromber's probably gone. But now with Doobie, you drop in another $5 million. And that sounds like pennies, right? A little bit. But shrewdly, Dana's like, dude. And also, Dana was, I think, vice president of scouting in Atlanta. So he knows the Atlanta books pretty well. He must know something. Gold Glove finalist at shortstop, short king Nick Allen, not a bat. Hey, Mauricio's not a bat. You got a little Gold Glove, it's kind of like a 1-for-1 drop in the salary. And from the Astros perspective, here's the real white pill. You're $25 million under the first luxury tax bracket, and next year you lose that McCullers salary finally. That's another like almost $20 million. Now you can start shopping for some starting pitching. Maybe you can start buying a Cease or a King or something like that. Maybe even
Are you ready? I got a mock trade for you.
Hit me.
Houston trades Walker to the Mets for Jeff McNeil.
Yikes. No, thanks.
Now, you're telling me that you wouldn't be interested in dropping that contract.
I think Walker's fine.
Really? Interesting. Yep. So you're saying right now, if I said, Johnny, do you want Christian Walker for 2 years, $40 million? You would say, sign me up.
I would. Here's why. Jeff McNeil plays second base. We have a crowded infield already. Like, Altuve is going to platoon in left, but when it counts in a big game, they're just going to stick him at second and eat the defense. You also have Correa at third now, so you got to move Paredes somewhere. Okay, let's say you ship Walker. Great. You move Paredes to first. You move McNeil to second. Sure, that kind of fits, but what do you do with Altuve? Is he going to DH the whole time? Is he going to play left field the whole time?
Wait a second. Hold on. Why isn't Altuve playing second? Because Jeff's playing second?
In this scenario, yeah.
Okay.
I presume. I mean, I think
because I kind of think of Jeff as playing left field.
Okay, so you've got Altuve, Jordan, and Jeff McNeil fighting over left field and DH, let's say.
Yeah, Jordan's going to DH 120 games a year, if he even plays that many. But
hopefully. Here, my point on Walker is this. Like, we have to really ignore... They went on this West Coast trip towards the end of the year, and that's like when he flipped the switch and it was like, oh, Walker's back. And if you look at his stats, like, to end the year, it's, like, not that bad. Like, it was
he had an 800 OPS in the second half.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, the Gold Glove is, like, unreal. 20 mil's not that much. Houston's got a pretty big...
Christian Walker, fellow South Carolina Gamecock, to our very own Jonah Bride, a favorite of the pod.
All right, tell me this. Jim Crane says the window is always open as long as I'm the president, as long as I'm the owner. Christian Walker hits 27 bombs in 2025. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not good, though, when you have a 297 OBP.
That's just the first half. He was putting pressure on himself. Well, man. It's a mental game.
No, his first half OBP was 286. But he's in the 9th percentile for K, 14th for whiff, 19th for X batting average. He does still have bat speed, so the 74.1 miles an hour, that's encouraging, and the barrel rate is there. So I see what you're saying with maybe Christian's not cooked because he still swings the bat hard and he's hitting the ball hard, but he is missing a lot, in and out of the zone. He doesn't chase. He's like middle of the road with chase, but there's a lot of holes in his swing, it seems.
Yeah, the thing with the Astros you have to realize is that when Yuli Gurriel left, the first base position became like the defense against the dark arts posting at Hogwarts, where like it's cursed. So you get Jose Abreu, then you get Christian Walker.
It's just been turnstile. Yeah.
Well, it's turnstile to the point of every time they come up to the plate, they start with 2 strikes on them already. It's just weird like that. But I'm telling you, man, I watched 2 full years of Jose Abreu play in Houston. I watched a full year of Christian Walker play in Houston. It was simply him pressing. It was a mental thing. He got a big contract. Again, he was a late bloomer. He started when he was, 30, breaking out in Arizona? So it's like...
It was later because he replaced Paul Goldschmidt. He wasn't that old, but yeah, he replaced Paul in Arizona. But imagine this, Johnny. 89th percentile with 94th percentile K. Guess who that is?
Not Goku on King Kai's planet.
Jeff McNeil, our very own.
Well, here's the thing. How many bombs? Oh, that's right, 12 bombs.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's like a utility guy. He plays some second. He can play right field for you, a little bit of third.
Okay, you just talked me into this. Sorry, I'm sorry. It took me a second for the stars to align. Okay, so Jeff McNeil comes in, does a little left, does a little second. Paredes, who's got an awesome glove, by the way, slides over to first, loving on those Crawford boxes. He hits you your 27 bombs and doesn't look super bad because he's young, tons of team control. You cut that salary. Brother.
There you go. You got it.
Chugga, chugga, choo-choo.
That's
the train is leaving the station. Okay, I'm sold. Adios, Christian. It was nice while it lasted.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got Correa at third, right? And they have him on the cheap. The Twins had to eat a lot of that contract.
Dana is Emperor freaking Palpatine. Just like never misses. It's awesome.
So if he's Emperor Palpatine, where is his Death Star?
Well, where he differs from Emperor Palpatine is he doesn't get thrown down a reactor shaft.
Well, yet anyway.
It was great to talk tonight. We got more things to talk about as the hot stove starts heating up, but please make sure you like and subscribe. Check out not only our LinkedIn profile, but obviously here on Spotify, X, Threads, Blue Sky. Come give us a follow at painting-corners.com and see the articles and hot takes for yourself. We'll be here again with you on another podcast episode coming next week. Johnny C., Aidan Smith signing off. Have a lovely night, everyone.
Losing streaks and winning ones. They're talking about it all. Listening